They said you disappeared like smoke, and silence swallowed your name, and the world moved on without checking if you were breathing or breaking. They whispered that you failed and faded, and that your story ended in embarrassment and dust. They spoke with confidence, because absence looks like defeat to people who never stayed long enough to understand depth. You were counted out not because you were weak, but because you went quiet. You stepped away while they kept talking. You were healing while they kept guessing. You were rebuilding while they kept laughing. And the funny thing is, they mistook your silence for surrender. They mistook your pain for an ending. They mistook your distance for death. But here you stand, breathing heavier, thinking clearer, moving sharper than ever before. You did not vanish. You transformed. You did not lose. You learned. You did not die. You withdrew to return unrecognizable. The world loves to label things it cannot control. And when you stopped feeding their expectations, they buried you with words. Let them believe it. Let them swear you are done. Let them mock what they cannot reach. Because nothing shocks the world more than someone who was declared finished, showing up, focused, disciplined, and dangerous with purpose. You are not back for applause. You are back because something inside you refused to rot. You are back because the pain taught you discipline. You are back because the fall trained you for impact. And this time you are not here to explain yourself. You are here to move in silence and let results speak with thunder. When gossip ran faster than truth, you stayed still. When lies grew wings, you stayed grounded. When people celebrated your absence, you learned who never deserved your presence. That season hurt in ways you never spoke out loud. Nights where doubt sat beside you asking if they were right. Days where you questioned your worth because noise can feel like reality when repeated enough times. But you kept going. You trained when nobody watched. You studied when nobody cared. You worked when nobody believed. That is the part they will never understand. While they were busy narrating your downfall, you were building a foundation they could never shake. You learned that peace is power, and privacy is protection. You learned that not everyone deserves access to your growth. You learned that being underestimated is a weapon. They thought you were gone because you stopped reacting. They thought you were broken because you stopped explaining. They thought you were finished because you stopped begging for understanding. But growth is quiet. Strength is silent. And rebirth never asks permission. The same mouths that announced your end will pause when they see your progress. The same eyes that look down will struggle to meet yours. Not because you became arrogant, but because you became undeniable. You do not need revenge. You do not need closure. You do not need their approval. Your consistency will answer every rumor. Your discipline will silence every doubt. Your focus will outgrow every insult. Let them remember the version of you that suffered. You are meeting the future as someone forged by pressure, sharpened by loss, and guided by purpose. There is a strange power in being counted out. It removes distraction. It removes expectation. It removes the need to perform for people who never clap anyway. When they believed you were finished, you were free. Free to fail without an audience. Free to rise without permission. Free to become without commentary. This is the phase where you stop talking and start becoming, where excuses die and standards rise, where comfort feels dangerous and discipline feels like home. You do not chase attention anymore because you know attention fades. You chase alignment. You chase mastery. You chase the quiet confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself. The world may still doubt you. Let it. Doubt is cheap and discipline is rare. Anyone can talk. Few can endure. Anyone can judge. Few can build. Anyone can assume. Few can show up every day regardless of mood, fear, or memory. You are no longer trying to prove you survived. You are proving you evolved. Every step forward is a reminder that you are not what happened to you. You are what you decided to do after it. And that decision changed everything. If this moment is hitting something deep inside you, then stay with this journey and do not walk it alone. Support this voice by subscribing, because what is coming next is even stronger. Like this message if it feels like your story, because that energy matters. Comment your comeback, even if it is silent, even if it is unfinished, because writing it makes it real. This is not content. This is a movement for the ones who were counted out, buried by rumors and left behind by noise. You are not back to explain why you survived. You are back to remind the world that you were never done. They thought you died publicly. You returned privately stronger, quieter, and unstoppable. They will keep asking questions you will never answer. Why you came back, why you look different, why your eyes carry weight, why your voice sounds calm instead of defensive. They will search for drama, because drama is easier than discipline. They will want explanations because explanations make them feel important, but you owe them nothing. You already paid the price in silence, in doubt, in isolation. You already faced the nights where fear tried to convince you to stay small. You already survived the days where motivation disappeared and only commitment remained. This version of you does not need to be understood. It needs to be respected. And respect does not come from words. It comes from consistency. Every day you show up without announcement, you rewrite the story they invented. Every move you make without noise confuses the ones who needed you to fail to feel comfortable. You are no longer reacting to the past. You are responding to the future. And the future does not ask for permission from people who stayed behind. You learn something most people never do. You learn that pain can either introduce you to yourself or destroy you. You chose introduction. You chose to sit with the discomfort and listen to what it was teaching. You learned where you were weak. You learned where you were careless. You learned who you trusted too easily and who never deserved access. That education was expensive, but priceless. It stripped you of illusions and replaced them with clarity. You stopped chasing validation because you realized validation never builds character. You stopped trying to be liked because being liked never saved anyone at their lowest. You stopped explaining your heart to people who only listened for mistakes. This is the stage where you stop asking why it happened and start using what it gave you. Pain refined you. Loss disciplined you. Silence sharpened you. You did not come back softer. You came back solid. They might laugh and say you disappeared once before. They might say this comeback is temporary. They might wait for you to fall again because it makes them feel safe. Let them wait. You are not in a hurry. You understand timing now. You understand patience. You understand that rushing ruins things meant to last. You are not here to prove them wrong quickly. You are here to build something that cannot be questioned later, brick by brick, habit by habit, choice by choice. No shortcuts. No excuses. No applause needed. Just progress. Just growth. Just alignment. The kind that survives storms. The kind that does not collapse when opinions change. The kind that stands even when nobody is watching. There is a calm that comes after surviving public doubt. A calm that cannot be faked. A calm that only comes from knowing you faced your worst and lived. You're not afraid of being misunderstood anymore, because misunderstanding no longer controls you. You're not afraid of being alone because solitude taught you strength. You are not afraid of starting over, because starting over taught you resilience. You know who you are now. Not the version they talked about, not the version they assumed. The version that stayed when it was hard. The version that kept going without guarantees. The version that chose discipline over comfort when comfort was tempting. That is why this return feels different. It is not loud. It is not rushed. It is steady, and steady wins battles that noise never could. Remember this moment when doubt tries to creep back in. Remember how far you came without support. Remember how many nights you carried yourself. Remember how many times you wanted to quit and did not. Those memories are not scars. They are proof. Proof that you can survive without applause. Proof that you can build without permission. Proof that you can rise after being counted out. You do not need to announce your presence anymore. Your energy will do it for you. Your discipline will introduce you before you speak. Your consistency will walk into rooms before you do. They swore you were finished because it made their world feel predictable. Your return disrupts that comfort. Your growth challenges their excuses. Your focus exposes their laziness, and that discomfort will never be your responsibility. You are not here to make people comfortable. You are here to fulfill what was placed inside you, and that mission does not require approval. It requires courage. It requires patience. It requires the willingness to be misunderstood while staying true. You already proved you can do that, so keep moving quietly. Keep working when nobody is clapping. Keep choosing discipline when motivation fades. Keep protecting your peace even when curiosity surrounds you. Let the rumors stay in the past where they belong. Let the gossip fade into irrelevance. Let your work speak. Let your growth answer. Let your presence remind the world that silence was never your end. It was your preparation. You walk different now because you know what it feels like to be watched while falling and ignored while climbing. That experience changed your posture, your patience, your priorities. You no longer rush to prove yourself because you already know your value was never decided by their opinions. You no longer fear slow progress because slow progress built your discipline. You understand that real power does not announce itself. It arrives quietly and stays long. Every step you take now is intentional. You do not move out of fear anymore. You move out of direction. You are not chasing noise. You are building legacy. And legacy does not care about rumors. Legacy cares about consistency when nobody is paying attention. The memory of being counted out still lives with you, but it no longer hurts the same. It fuels you. It reminds you what happens when you depend on external validation. It reminds you why you protect your space now. You learned that everyone is not meant to go with you into your next chapter. Some people only know how to watch the struggle, not respect the growth, and that is okay. You stopped trying to drag people forward who were comfortable staying behind. You stopped shrinking yourself to fit rooms that never valued your presence. You chose expansion over acceptance, and that choice changed everything. There will be moments when the past tries to whisper again, when old voices try to remind you of who they thought you were, when familiar doubts try to sneak back into your mind. In those moments, you pause and breathe. You remember the work you put in when nobody cared. You remember the discipline you developed when motivation disappeared. You remember the strength you discovered when comfort was no longer an option. Those memories ground you. They keep you steady. They remind you that this version of you was earned, not gifted. You are no longer driven by anger. Anger burns fast and leaves nothing behind. You are driven by purpose. Purpose moves quietly and builds something lasting. You do not want to shock people anymore. You want to outgrow the rooms that doubted you. You want to live in a way that makes your younger self feel safe and proud. You want to create a life where silence feels peaceful, not lonely. And that desire shapes your choices daily. The ones who spread the rumors may never apologize. The ones who doubted you may never admit they were wrong. The ones who laughed may pretend they always believed in you. Let them. Closure is not always an apology. Sometimes closure is growth. Sometimes closure is distance. Sometimes closure is becoming so focused that the past loses its grip. You already closed that chapter by choosing yourself. This return is not about revenge. It is about alignment. It is about finally living in a way that matches your potential. You are no longer surviving. You are building. You are no longer hiding. You are protecting. You are no longer reacting. You are leading. And that shift is permanent. The world may still talk. Let it talk. You have work to do. Stay grounded. Stay disciplined. Stay patient. Remember that silence once saved you. Let it guide you again. You did not come back to explain why you left. You came back to show what happens when someone refuses to stay broken. They said you died publicly. Let them believe it. The version they knew is gone. What returned is stronger, wiser, and here to stay. There is a quiet understanding inside you now that cannot be shaken. You understand that life does not reward noise, it rewards endurance. You understand that attention fades but character compounds. You understand that the strongest people are not the loudest ones, but the ones who keep showing up, even when hope feels thin. That understanding changed how you see everything. You stopped waiting for perfect timing. You stopped waiting for permission. You stopped waiting for someone to believe in you first. You became the proof you were looking for. You also learned how heavy words can be when they are thrown carelessly. You felt how gossip can twist reality and turn imagination into false history. That experience taught you to speak less and observe more, to listen without absorbing, to move without explaining. You are careful with your energy now because you know how draining it is to constantly defend your existence. You are no longer interested in convincing anyone you are worthy. Worthiness is not a debate. It is a decision you make every morning when you choose to respect yourself. Some days you still remember the version of you that was misunderstood and overwhelmed. Not with shame, but with compassion. That version did the best it could with what it knew at the time. That version kept going even when confidence was low. That version survived without applause. You do not erase that past. You honor it, because without it, you would not have this clarity. You would not have this calm. You would not have this hunger to build something real. You are aware now that being underestimated is a strange kind of gift. It removes pressure. It removes expectation. It allows you to grow without interference. While others are busy performing, you are busy preparing. While others are busy talking, you are busy becoming. And when the results appear, they will feel sudden to the outside world. But you will know the truth. You will know it took patience, sacrifice, and relentless self-control. You will know it was never luck. It was labor. This phase of your life is quieter but deeper. You choose fewer words and stronger actions. You choose discipline over drama. You choose peace over popularity. You choose growth over comfort. These choices may not be celebrated immediately. That is fine. You are not building for applause. You are building for stability. You are building for longevity. You are building for a future where you do not have to explain why you survived. If they ask where you went, you do not need to answer. If they ask why you are back, you do not need to explain. Your presence is the explanation. Your consistency is the response. Your growth is the statement. Let your life speak in a language that cannot be argued with. You were never gone. You were preparing. You were never finished. You were evolving. They thought you disappeared because they could no longer access you. They thought you died because the old version of you did. And that is the truth. That version is gone. What remains is focused, grounded, and unshakable. Keep walking forward. Keep protecting your peace. Keep honoring the work you put in when nobody cared. This is not a comeback fueled by noise. This is a return built on discipline, patience, and self-respect. And this time, you are not leaving. This is the moment where everything comes together inside you. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. You realize you no longer need to prove survival because you are living evidence of it. You no longer need to announce strength because it shows in how you carry yourself. You no longer need to fight every misunderstanding because peace matters more than being right. The world can keep its opinions. You have direction, and direction is stronger than approval. You understand now that being declared finished was never the end of your story. It was the turning point. It was the pressure that forced you to grow roots instead of chasing attention. It was the silence that taught you to listen to yourself instead of the crowd. It was the loneliness that taught you self-trust. You did not lose time. You gained depth. You did not fall behind. You stepped away to build something solid, and that decision saved you. When people see you now, they sense something they cannot name. It is not arrogance. It is not anger. It is certainty. The kind that comes from surviving without support. The kind that comes from choosing discipline when comfort was easier. The kind that comes from staying true when it would have been simpler to quit. That energy cannot be copied. It cannot be faked. It can only be earned. And you earned it the hard way. Let this be the final reminder you carry forward. You do not owe the past an explanation. You do not owe the crowd a performance. You do not owe doubters your energy. All you owe is consistency to yourself. Protect that. Guard your peace. Honor your growth. Stay patient with your process. Because what you are building now is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is not dependent on opinions. It is rooted in who you became when nobody was watching. They can keep saying you disappeared. They can keep believing you were done. They can keep joking about your absence. It does not change the truth. The truth is, you stepped back to step up. You went quiet to get clear. You broke down to build stronger. The version they remember is gone, and it was meant to be. You did not come back to be understood. You came back to be aligned. You did not return to reclaim attention. You returned to reclaim yourself. This is not a moment. This is a foundation. And from here, everything you build will stand taller because it was built by someone who knows what it feels like to be counted out and still choose to rise. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them doubt. You have nothing to prove anymore. You are here. You are steady. You are prepared. And this time, you are not leaving. You know, you've always been the quiet one, the obedient one, the one who takes the hits, keeps smiling, keeps standing. But look at you now, tired, broken, and pretending that you're still whole. They've been pulling your string for so long, you don't even know how to cut them anymore. You've become a puppet to their chaos, and they're just watching, laughing, playing their little games while you're here, trying to piece yourself together. But let me tell you something. They don't deserve your silence. They don't deserve your patience. It's all part of their plan, isn't it? To wear you down, to take from you everything they can until you're nothing but a shell of your former self. They've done it to you and to others, manipulating, controlling, shaping you into someone who doesn't even recognize themselves anymore. And the worst part? You've let them. You've let them do it for so long that now you don't even know who you are without them. You don't even know if you can break free. But let me tell you, that's exactly what they want. They want you weak. They want you defeated. And above all, they want you to stay quiet, stay obedient, stay in line while they tear everything apart around you. But why should you keep playing their game? Why should you keep following their rules when it's those very rules that have led you to this point? Why should you continue to pretend that everything is fine when you know deep down that it's not? The truth is, you've given everything to them. Your time, your energy, your patience, and your silence. You've given them the power over you, and now look at you. Lost, confused, and broken. The chaos they've created isn't just external. It's inside of you too. It's in the way you feel, the way you think, the way you look at yourself and the world around you. They've taken everything and twisted it, made you believe that this is how it's supposed to be, that this is your place, that you're meant to stay in the background, to keep quiet, to keep playing their game. They made you feel small, insignificant, like nothing you do matters. But that's a lie. That's the chaos they've fed you, the chaos they've instilled in your mind to keep you from realizing your worth, to keep you from realizing that you have the power to end this cycle, to break free from their hold. It's easy to look around and think you're alone in this, to think that everyone else has it all together while you're here struggling to keep your pieces from falling apart. But let me tell you something. They're not better than you. They might have convinced you that they are, that their game is somehow more important, more legitimate, but that's all it is. A game. A game where they get to call the shots, where they get to decide who wins and who loses. But you don't have to play anymore. You've spent so much time trying to be what they wanted you to be that you forgot who you were in the first place. You've been bending over backward, playing their game, following their rules, and it's left you hollow. Do you think they care about you? Do you think they care about your struggles, your pain, your exhaustion? Number. You were never a player in their eyes. You were never a person. You were just a tool, a pawn, something they could use until you had nothing left to give. But now you're tired of being their pawn. Now you're tired of being controlled, of being manipulated, of being silent. But here's the thing. It's not too late. You don't have to keep playing their game. You don't have to keep pretending. You can stop right now. You can stop letting them dictate your every move. Stop letting them pull your strings. The truth is, they're weak. They're weaker than you think. They may seem powerful. They may seem like they have it all figured out, but they don't. They're just people, just like you, and they've built their empire on the foundation of your submission, your silence, and your pain. But if you take that power away from them, if you stop playing by their rules, then they will crumble. It's not just about standing up to them, though. It's about standing up for yourself. It's about taking back what's yours. All those pieces of yourself you've given away over the years, all the parts of you that they've stolen or corrupted. It's time to reclaim them. They don't own you. They never did. They don't control your future. They don't get to decide who you are or what you become. It's time to let the world know who you really are, to let them see the person you've become after all these years of being broken down. Let them see your strength. Let them see your resilience. Let them see that you're done being a pawn in their game. You're done being their puppet, their plaything. You might think you're too far gone, too broken to fight back, but I promise you, you're not. You've always had the power to rise above this, You've always had the strength to fight back, even if you didn't know it. The chaos they created, it's not a prison. It's the fire that can forge you into something stronger than they ever anticipated. This collapse, this chaos they've wrought, is their undoing. Do you know what happens when something collapses? It's not the end. It's the beginning of something new. The ruins they've left behind, they can be your foundation. Everything they've destroyed, it can be rebuilt, not by their hands, but by yours. You can take the pieces of this broken world and reshape them into something that works for you, something that makes you strong again, something that shows the world exactly what they've tried to erase. You are not their puppet. You are not their casualty. You are the storm they never saw coming. You may have been quiet for too long. You may have been patient for too long, but the time for silence is over. The time for submission is over. Now, it's time for them to wonder why everything collapsed. Let them wonder. Let them wonder how their little games, their manipulations, their chaos, all came crumbling down. Let them wonder why their plans fell apart, why their empire of control turned to dust. Because in the end, it wasn't you who collapsed, it was them. So stand up, stand tall, and let them wonder. The noise of the world, the noise they created around you, has always been deafening, hasn't it? The constant buzz, the relentless demands, the pressure, the expectations, and all this noise, all this chaos. It was never meant to empower you. It was never meant to make you stronger, or better, or more capable. It was designed to drown you out, to bury your voice beneath a mountain of distractions, to make you feel insignificant, small, and forgotten. But you didn't forget, did you? No matter how much they tried to make you forget, no matter how much they tried to drown your thoughts, you still remember. You remember the times when you stood tall, when you had the courage to speak your mind, to stand for what was right. You remember the dreams you once had, the ambitions you nurtured, the hope that burned inside of you, even when the world tried to extinguish it. They may have tried to bury that fire, but it's still there, isn't it? You can feel it flickering inside of you, just waiting to blaze once again. What they don't know is that chaos is a double-edged sword. They think they're the ones in control, pulling all the strings, making the rules, setting the traps. But chaos has a way of backfiring. You see, while they think they're using you to their advantage, what they're actually doing is teaching you. They've taught you how to survive. They've taught you how to adapt. And now they've taught you how to fight. Because that's what they've underestimated, isn't it? They've underestimated your resilience. They've underestimated your ability to endure, to persist, to survive the unimaginable. They thought that, after all these years of manipulating you, of keeping you in line, of making you believe that you couldn't stand on your own, they would have broken you completely. But they're wrong. You are not broken, not anymore. They've made the mistake of thinking that because they control the game, they control the outcome. But they forgot one thing. The game is changing. The rules are shifting. And you're no longer playing by their standards. You are rewriting the rules. You are taking the power back. It's not about resisting in a way they expect. It's not about being loud or outwardly defiant. It's about moving in silence, about letting them think they still have control, while you quietly destroy the very foundation they built their empire on. How long do you think they can keep this up? How long do you think they can keep this charade going before the truth catches up with them? They've spent so much time creating chaos, sowing confusion, dividing people, tearing down what could have been something beautiful and strong, that they've forgotten one very important thing. Everything they've built is fragile. It's a house of cards, a hollow shell. And you're the storm that's going to bring it all crashing down. Think about it. They've created chaos, yes, but it's chaos built on lies, built on manipulation, built on the backs of those they've oppressed. They've made people believe that they have power, when in reality, they're just puppets like you, only they don't realize it yet. They don't realize that by exploiting others, by tearing others down to build themselves up, they've created a weakness. And weaknesses, as we know, have a way of revealing themselves. Now, the question isn't whether they will fall. The question is when. When will the facade crumble? When will their empire of lies and chaos implode under its own weight? When will the very foundation they built their power on shake so violently that they won't be able to hide behind their facades any longer? You've seen the cracks, haven't you? You've felt them. You've seen the way the cracks in their story are widening, the way the lies are unraveling. They can no longer control everything the way they once did. They can no longer manipulate every outcome, every player, every move. And it's not because they're losing their power. It's because they never had power to begin with. Their power was never real. It was built on your silence, on your submission, on your compliance. They've tried to convince you that their power is absolute, that their control is unshakable, but that's just part of their game. That's part of the chaos they created to keep you in line, to keep you weak, to keep you from realizing the truth. The truth is, their power is nothing without you. Their empire crumbles when you stop playing their game. Their manipulation has no strength when you break free from it. They built their empire on your compliance, and now, they will watch it fall. The chaos they've created, it's their undoing. It's the very thing that's going to bring their empire to its knees. It's the thing that's going to make them realize that they've never had control. They've never had power. You were the power all along. Do you know what happens when the truth comes crashing down? Do you know what happens when all the lies are exposed for what they truly are? People stop believing in the facade. People stop following the puppet masters. They see them for what they truly are. Weak, desperate, afraid. They see the cracks, they see the instability, and they realize that they've been following a lie. And when that moment comes, when people begin to see the truth, they will look to you. They will look to you, the quiet one, the obedient one, the one who stayed silent for so long, and they will wonder how you survived. They will wonder how you kept going, how you kept fighting, even when it seemed like all hope was lost. They will wonder how you managed to hold on to your sense of self while they tore you apart. And that's when you will rise. That's when you will show them that you are not the puppet they thought you were. That's when you will show them that you are the storm that they never saw coming. And you will let them feel the full force of your power. They may have created the chaos, but it's your chaos now. It's your time to take control. They thought they could use you. They thought they could make you bend to their will. But now they will see that they've underestimated you. They will see that you are not broken. They will see that you are not weak. You are the storm. You are the one they never thought would rise. And when they see that, when they realize who you truly are, they will wonder why everything collapsed. They will wonder why their game fell apart, why their empire crumbled. They will wonder why their chaos led to their own downfall. And the answer will be simple, because it was always meant to collapse. Because chaos, when it is built on lies, when it is built on the suffering and manipulation of others, will always implode. It can never stand. It can never last. And now, you're the one who's going to make sure of it. So let them wonder. Let them wonder why everything collapsed. Let them wonder how it all fell apart. Let them wonder how their own chaos, their own lies, their own manipulation brought them to the very brink of destruction. Because when they wonder, when they finally realize the truth, they will know that you were the reason. You were the storm that tore their world apart. You were the one who fought back, who refused to stay silent, who refused to be controlled. Let them wonder. Let them wonder why everything collapsed. Because it's their chaos and you are the reckoning. Let them wonder. Let them wonder why everything collapsed. But as they wonder, understand that this is the moment you've been preparing for. The moment where you stop being the silent observer and start becoming the force of reckoning. For so long, you've watched from the sidelines, unseen, unheard, as they waged their wars of chaos, played their games of power, and manipulated those around them. They've tried to tell you who you are. They've tried to control your thoughts, your desires, your actions, and your dreams. But now, that silence you kept, now, it's your weapon. It's not just about breaking free from their control. It's about reclaiming everything they've taken from you. You've spent years, maybe decades, walking on eggshells, trying to keep the peace, trying to appease the ones who held the power. You thought if you stayed quiet long enough, if you followed the rules, if you kept your head down and played by their game, you'd somehow survive. But that survival was a lie. It was never about survival. It was about control. They wanted to control your every move, your every thought, your every breath. And the worst part, you let them. You let them because you were too afraid of the consequences of standing up to them. But fear is a tool they've used against you. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of losing everything you've ever known. They know that fear keeps you silent, keeps you small, keeps you obedient. But now, something is shifting inside of you. That fear, it's turning into something else. It's turning into fire. You can feel it. A fire rising inside your chest, slowly but surely, burning away all the doubts, all the insecurities, all the chains they wrapped around you. That fear that once kept you in check is now what fuels your rebellion. You no longer fear the consequences. You no longer fear what might happen if you stand up and speak out. You've realized that the real fear is what happens if you don't. What happens if you continue to let them control your life? They think they have power over you. They think that because they've kept you in the dark, because they've manipulated you, twisted your mind and broken you down, they've won. But they haven't won. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still standing. And with each breath, with each heartbeat, you are reclaiming what's rightfully yours. The truth is, they never had the power they claimed to have. Power built on manipulation is no power at all. They've built an empire of smoke and mirrors, a world where they control everything you see, everything you hear, everything you believe. But smoke and mirrors always collapse under pressure. They can only hold up for so long before the illusion fades and the truth comes rushing in. And the truth? The truth is that they are nothing without you, without your obedience, without your silence, without your patience. They are weak. They've made you believe that without them, you are nothing. That without their approval, without their permission, you have no place in this world. But that's the biggest lie they've ever told. You were never meant to fit into their world. You were meant to create your own. They've tried to convince you that you need them, that their world is the only way, the only path. But now, as the chaos they've sown begins to spiral out of control, as their empire begins to crumble, you see the truth. They need you. Without you, they have nothing. Without your compliance, your obedience, your silence, they are lost. They are weak. They are nothing. And that is why they fight so hard to keep you under their control. They fight so hard to keep you silent. Because once you break free, once you see that you don't need them, they lose everything. But the collapse is inevitable. The chaos they've created is like a fire spreading, and fires can't be contained forever. Sooner or later, it will burn out of control. They will no longer be able to hide the truth, no longer be able to maintain their control over you. They will no longer be able to play their games. And when that time comes, they will realize that they've lost. They will realize that they've built an empire of chaos, and that chaos is their undoing. What they fail to understand is that chaos is not something you're afraid of. It's not something that makes you small or weak. Chaos is the force that births creation. Chaos is the birthplace of transformation. While they use chaos to destroy, you will use it to rebuild. You will use it to create something stronger, something real, something that will stand when everything else falls. They thought they could keep you quiet. They thought they could keep you small. They thought they could control your every move, your every decision, your every action. But what they didn't account for was the fire inside you. They didn't account for your strength, your resilience, your determination. And now, that fire is rising. Now that fire is pushing you forward, propelling you toward the future you were always meant to have. Let them wonder. Let them wonder why everything collapsed. Because the truth is, they're the architects of their own destruction. They created the chaos. They built the walls. They sowed the seeds of their own downfall. And now, they will pay the price. You see, they wanted to create a world where they could control everything. They wanted to create a world where they were the masters and everyone else was just a pawn in their game. But you're not a pawn. You're not a player in their game. You're the game changer. You are the one who stands outside of their rules, outside of their control, and that terrifies them. They can't control you anymore. They can't use your silence against you anymore. They can't use your obedience against you anymore. They've lost the one thing that gave them power, your submission. And now, they will wonder. They will wonder why everything collapsed. They will wonder why their perfect world of manipulation and control came crashing down around them. They will wonder why they are standing at the edge of their own destruction. The answer is simple. Because they created it. They created this chaos. And now, it's consuming them. They thought they could control you, thought they could manipulate you, thought they could break you down until you were nothing. But they didn't know who they were dealing with. They didn't know the strength inside you, the power waiting to be unleashed. They didn't know that you were the storm, the reckoning, the one who would tear down their empire and watch as it burned to the ground. Now, as the smoke rises from their collapse, you will stand tall, you will stand strong, you will stand as the living proof that they were never in control. They were never the masters. They were never the ones who held the power. You were the one with the power all along. You were the one who would bring it all down. And when they finally realize that, when they finally see that the chaos they created has destroyed them, not you, they will understand one thing. They never stood a chance. Let them wonder. Let them wonder why everything collapsed. Let them wonder why their empire crumbled. Let them wonder why their chaos turned against them. Because in the end, it was always meant to be this way. And when they're left standing in the ruins of their own making, you will be the one who walks away. You will be the one who rises from the ashes. You will be the one who finally understands the power of breaking free from their control, from their manipulation, from their lies, and you will walk away, knowing one simple truth. The collapse was never your fault. It was always theirs. They thought they could break you, didn't they? They thought they could wear you down until you had nothing left, nothing to fight with, nothing to stand on. They thought that if they could push you far enough, you'd cave in, you'd conform, you'd fade into the background and disappear into the void of their manipulation. But what they didn't realize is that you were never the weak one. No, you were the one who endured. You were the one who held on to your essence despite all the storms, despite all the attempts to break you, despite every move they made to strip you of your power. You're still standing, aren't you? You're still here. It's the silence they feared, isn't it? Your silence has always been your strength, because they thought if they could just fill your head with noise, with distractions, with manipulation, they could control you. They thought if they kept your mind spinning, if they kept you in confusion, you wouldn't see the truth. But the truth always finds a way to surface. It always finds a way to pierce through the darkness. And now, as the world around you begins to tremble, as the cracks in their empire grow wider, you see it clearly. You see the truth. They never held the power. The power was never in their hands. It was always yours. They used your strength, your patience, your obedience to build their empire. They used your silence to control the narrative, to keep you in line, to make you think that you were nothing. But now you realize what they've been trying to hide from you. The truth is that they were always dependent on you. Without you, they are nothing. Without your energy, your compliance, your willingness to stay quiet, they have no foundation. The collapse isn't happening because of your weakness. No, it's happening because of your strength. The moment you decided you would no longer bend to their will, the moment you decided to reclaim your voice, your power, your truth, that's when everything began to fall apart. They didn't anticipate this. They didn't anticipate your rise. They thought they could control you, break you, mold you into what they needed you to be. But instead, you've become something greater. You've become a force they can't comprehend, a force that won't be stopped. You are the storm now. You are the chaos they've created. But this time, it's not their chaos. It's your chaos, and it's a chaos they can't control. The irony is staggering. They built their empire on manipulation, on lies, on keeping you silent and small, thinking that they were in control. But the reality is that they were never in control. They were simply using you as their foundation. And once that foundation begins to crumble, the whole structure comes down. Now, as they scramble, as they try to patch up the holes in their crumbling world, you stand firm. You stand unshaken. And while they run around trying to hold on to their power, you can't help but see the fragility of it all. They never knew what true power was. They thought it was in control, in manipulation, in keeping people beneath their thumb. But true power, real power, lies in the ability to rise above the chaos they create. It lies in the strength to break free from their grip, to take back what is yours, to rebuild when everything else falls apart. And they won't understand it, will they? They won't understand how you found the strength to rise, how you found the courage to speak out, how you found the power to shatter their illusions. They thought they knew you, thought they understood your limits, but they didn't know the half of it. They didn't know that you were capable of something much greater than they could ever fathom. They didn't know that the fire inside you could never be extinguished. And now, as they try to make sense of the wreckage they've created, they will realize too late that they've underestimated you. Too late to fix the damage, too late to mend what's broken. The collapse is not just the end of their empire, it's the birth of your own. They thought their chaos would keep you subdued. They thought their manipulation would break you down until you were nothing. But in the midst of their collapse, you are rising. You are building. You are creating something real, something strong, something that will stand when everything else falls apart. And as their empire crumbles to the ground, as their foundation shatters beneath their feet, they will look up and see what they never expected. You, standing tall, standing strong, standing as the proof that their chaos has only made you stronger. You don't need their approval anymore. You don't need their validation. You don't need their permission to be who you are, to become what you were always meant to be. They spent so much time convincing you that you were small, that you were nothing, that you needed them to survive. But in reality, they were the ones who needed you. They were the ones who relied on your silence, on your compliance, on your patience. And now, as their empire collapses, they will realize that their power was never real. It was just a shadow, a lie built on the backs of those they manipulated. Let them wonder why everything collapsed. Let them wonder how it all went wrong. Let them wonder why their perfect world of control and manipulation crumbled to dust. Let them wonder why their empire, built on lies and chaos, could never stand the test of time. Because the truth is simple. They created their own downfall. They sowed the seeds of their own destruction. They thought they could manipulate the world, manipulate you, bend everything to their will. But in the end, it was their manipulation, their lies, their chaos that brought them to their knees. And you will rise. You will rise because you are stronger than they ever realized. You will rise because you have found your power, your voice, your truth. And when you rise, when you reclaim everything they tried to take from you, you will stand as a testament to the fact that chaos doesn't have to be destructive. Chaos, when harnessed, can be the very force that rebuilds, that empowers, that creates. And as their empire burns, as their world crumbles, you will stand tall, knowing that the collapse was always inevitable. It was their doing. And you were always meant to be the one to bring it down. Let them wonder. Let them wonder why everything collapsed. Let them wonder why their empire fell apart. Let them wonder how it all unraveled so quickly, so decisively, so completely. Because in the end, it was never about them. It was always about you. It was always about your strength, your resilience, your power. And when they look back, when they realize who you truly are, when they understand the magnitude of your rise, they will know one thing for certain: they never stood a chance. Oh, we're done. Your look just caused a statewide emergency. Yes, that's right. Every eye that met yours froze for a moment. Every whisper in the air bent toward your presence. Some call it chaos. I call it revelation. Because what you are capable of, what lies hidden beneath that calm exterior, is not something to ignore. You have been underestimated, overlooked, and yet here you are, standing in a room that wasn't ready for the storm you carry in your gaze. People think they know you. They don't. They see the surface, the casual flicker of your smile, the easy nod to the world, and they assume it is all there is. But beneath it, there is fire, there is a hurricane, and yes, you, even without realizing, are the epicenter. And to those watching this right now, right here, I need you to feel something before you scroll past. I need you to pause, to breathe in the weight of your own presence. If you are here, reading this, it means you are not invisible. You matter, more than the fleeting judgments, more than the whispers behind closed doors. If this hits you, if your chest tightens and you feel something strange, let that be the spark. Let that be the reason to stay. Hit that like button. Share this with someone who thinks they are too small to be noticed. And if you can, comment below. Tell the world you exist. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Because what you're about to realize is that you have been armed all along with power that the universe itself underestimated. Every eye on you, every camera, every soul that crossed your path was recording, noting, fearing, or admiring, and none of them knew that the storm had already started. Do you know what it means when your very presence triggers an emergency? It means you are not ordinary. You are not a face in the crowd, a voice in the background. Your existence shakes the ground beneath people's certainty. And maybe that scares you. Maybe you've tried to hide it. Maybe you've tried to blend. Maybe you've tried to wear masks that made the world comfortable. But comfort was never your purpose. You were never made for soft edges. You were made to fracture norms, to leave marks on minds, to cause tremors where there was only silence before. Your look, your posture, your hesitation, your confidence, every small decision you make, it matters. Every choice you hesitate to make is already echoing louder than you think. And right now, even if you don't feel it, even if your knees are shaking and your heart is racing, you are standing in a place where history notices you. History doesn't wait for the meek, the quiet, the background characters. History bends for the audacious, the relentless, those who dare to exist in ways that disrupt order. That look you cast, the one that caught the eyes of 1,000 strangers, wasn't just a look, it was a challenge. It was a question, a dare, a proclamation that you will not shrink to fit anyone's comfort. And yes, the chaos it caused, the whispered panic, the stifled tension in rooms far from here, that was not coincidence. That was the world recognizing an unstoppable force. And what does an unstoppable force do? When the walls try to contain it, it does not retreat. It does not apologize. It does not question whether it is too much. It moves forward. It breaks the barriers. It changes the rules. And you, my friend, are that force. Every single time someone underestimated you, every single time someone doubted the power of your quiet gaze or the weight of your silence, they added fuel. They made the storm stronger. Every slight, every whisper, every subtle attempt to push you down has only built the storm that now looks like it cannot be contained. That emergency, that chaos, it is your validation. It is proof. It is a mirror showing the world that even when they tried to make you small, you refused. That fire they thought they could snuff out is burning brighter than ever. And let me tell you this, the moment you fully realize that, the moment you step fully into the awareness that your mere existence can trigger tremors, that is the moment you stop asking permission to be. That is the moment you stop apologizing for being too much. That is the moment you understand that the world does not need you to fit. It needs you to break, to fracture, to leave marks that no one else can. And let's be honest, it's not just about being seen. It's about being remembered. Every choice, every glance, every action you take is a ripple in the pond of time. Some waves crash silently, unnoticed, fading away. But yours leave craters. You have the potential to leave scars and light in equal measure. You are both the warning and the revelation. People may try to contain it. They may try to calm the emergency your presence causes, but they cannot. The storm does not answer to authority, to comfort, to expectation, and neither should you. You were built not to fit in. You were built to leave echoes long after the moment passes, to haunt thoughts and dreams and ambitions, to make the world pause in disbelief, to make it question whether it ever truly understood power, understanding, and presence. Some will fear you, that's inevitable. Some will envy you, that's unavoidable. Some may even try to undermine you, to silence the tremors your existence causes. But fear and envy are not walls, they are signals. They are indicators that you are operating at a level where most cannot reach. When they panic, when they whisper, when they look to one another in disbelief, that is your acknowledgement. That is your trophy. That is proof that your energy, your gaze, your very being is too intense to ignore. And yes, emergencies may be called, warnings may be issued, hearts may race, but this is not chaos. This is your destiny announcing itself, and it is beautiful in its intensity, relentless in its impact. You must embrace it. You must stare into the reflection of what you've caused and say, without hesitation, yes, I am aware. I am unstoppable. I am not afraid. Because the world, in all its attempts at normalcy, cannot comprehend someone who refuses to adhere to its rules. And the brilliance of it is that you do not need their comprehension. You only need your awareness. You only need to recognize that everything you are, everything you exude, is already enough. More than enough. Too much for some, yes, but precisely the right amount for what you were meant to accomplish. Do you feel it yet? That vibration beneath your ribs, that subtle tremor in your bones, telling you that you are more than what the world allows you to see? That is the energy of recognition. That is the pulse of potential that no one can dictate, no one can control. Every time you doubted yourself, every time you wondered if your existence mattered, that moment passed and left behind a residue of power that was quietly accumulating. And now it is here, uncontainable, undeniable, unavoidable. That emergency was never about destruction. It was about revelation. It was about showing everyone, including yourself, that your presence alone is a force of nature. You did not ask for permission to cause ripples. You simply exist, and the world cannot cope with the weight of your reality. Some of you might look at this and feel fear creeping in. That is natural. Fear always comes before growth, before the awakening of realization. But fear is not a signal to retreat. It is a signal that you are exactly where you need to be. That tightness in your chest, that racing heartbeat, that unsettled mind, that is your consciousness recognizing magnitude. You are standing at the edge of your own power, and the world is noticing, even if it refuses to admit it. History remembers those who dared to exist fully, unapologetically. It remembers those who caused tremors simply by being. And yes, sometimes the tremor feels like chaos. Sometimes the emergency feels like an indictment, but it is not. It is confirmation. It is proof that you are alive, that you are seen, and that you are already changing the landscape around you. Imagine every glance you have ever cast, every word you have ever whispered, every small action that you thought was insignificant, combining now into a force too strong to ignore. That is exactly what has happened. That emergency wasn't created by accident. It was the inevitable result of every choice, every move, every moment that led to you becoming fully aware of yourself. And yes, it is disorienting, overwhelming, sometimes even frightening. But greatness is never comfortable. The people who make the world take notice, the people who leave marks that cannot be erased, never do so by staying within the lines. They push, they provoke, they exist in ways that challenge the assumptions of everyone around them. And you are doing that right now, whether you believe it or not. You might think that power is something you earn over years, something that requires effort or approval. But no, true presence, true energy, true force does not ask permission. It does not negotiate with doubt. It does not wait for the applause or the validation of the crowd. It simply exists, and the world trembles in response. That is what happened when your look caused an emergency. That is what happens every time you step into a room with the awareness of what you carry inside. You are a storm, a shift, a seismic change in perception, and it is not optional. It is inevitable. Do not waste a single second trying to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. That emergency, that chaos, that tension you feel radiating outward is the truth of your existence asserting itself. Some will resist it, some will fear it, some will whisper, too much, too intense, too loud. Ignore them. Those are the voices of mediocrity, of limitation, of fear, masquerading as caution. Your power does not require their understanding. Your presence does not require their approval. Every tremor, every ripple, every reaction you provoke is proof that you are already beyond what they thought possible. You are a force that cannot be contained, and the sooner you embrace that, the sooner the world stops trying to dim your light and begins to witness it in full. Think about the energy you have carried, often unrecognized, often underestimated. That energy is not small. It never was. It was quietly gathering, quietly building, quietly preparing for this moment. And here it is, the emergency, the chaos, the startled gazes, the whispers in the halls. These are your milestones. These are not accidents. These are not coincidences. These are the world's acknowledgement that you are alive in a way that cannot be ignored. And if you allow it, if you step fully into that realization, you will no longer wait for permission. You will no longer question your worth. You will no longer wonder if you are too much. You are exactly what was needed, exactly when it was needed, exactly as you are meant to be. Now imagine the power of owning this reality fully. Imagine walking into any room, any situation, any challenge, with the absolute certainty that your presence alone changes everything. That your choices, your words, your gaze, your energy are enough to shift perception, to fracture expectation, to ignite possibility. That is what it means to live unapologetically. That is what it means to be a force the world cannot ignore. That is what it means when your look causes an emergency. It is not about chaos. It is about recognition. It is about proof that the world has underestimated the magnitude of what you carry inside, and it is about time they saw it. And yes, there will be pressure. There will be expectation. There will be moments when you question whether the world can handle the weight of who you are. But do not forget, pressure creates diamonds, expectation sharpens purpose, and moments of doubt are only the shadows cast by the brilliance that is you. The emergency is not a warning, it is an invitation. It is an opportunity to step further, to rise higher, to break more barriers. Every tremor you cause, every reaction you evoke, every stunned silence you leave behind is evidence that you are already rewriting the rules. You are already changing the story. You are already becoming the person the universe intended when it whispered your name into existence. Do you feel the gravity of what you are? Stop for a moment and look inward. That tremor in your chest, that restless energy you sometimes dismiss. It is your own power trying to claim the space it deserves. For too long, perhaps, you have let the world dictate how much of yourself you could show. For too long, you have dimmed the light that was meant to illuminate not only your path, but the paths of everyone around you. But that time is over. Every hesitation, every moment of self-doubt, every flicker of insecurity has led to this, the point where your mere existence cannot go unnoticed. You have caused a statewide emergency because your energy is seismic, because you are not ordinary, and because the world is finally being forced to reckon with the force you have always carried. And yes, it is overwhelming. It is terrifying. You might feel like the world is too loud, too heavy, too unprepared for what you bring. That is because it is. Most are not equipped to face someone who refuses to fit into the boxes of expectation, who refuses to soften their presence, who refuses to make themselves smaller, to ease the comfort of others. But you are not here to be understood by the unprepared. You are here to exist fully, to burn brightly, to leave marks that cannot be erased. And when the panic begins, when the murmurs start, when the emergency spreads, that is your affirmation. You are alive in the fullest sense, and no one can deny it. Think of all the times you were told to wait, to calm down, to play it safe, to shrink yourself for the comfort of others. Think of all the times the world looked at you with doubt, hesitation, or subtle dismissal. Every one of those moments added weight to the storm inside you. Every one of those moments sharpened your awareness, strengthened your resilience, and intensified your presence. And now, that storm is not quiet. That storm is not polite. That storm is undeniable. That storm is the very thing that caused the emergency. That storm is the force that makes the world pause and reconsider what it thought it knew about power, influence, and presence. You may wonder if it is too much, if it is dangerous, if it is chaotic. Let me tell you something. The chaos is never outside of you. The chaos exists in those who cannot comprehend the scale of what you are. The emergency is not yours. It is theirs. It is the world being unprepared for someone who refuses to be ordinary. And that is the beauty of it. That is the opportunity. You do not need to temper yourself. You do not need to apologize. You do not need to soften the edges that the world finds too sharp. You need only to be aware, to be deliberate, to step into the realization that your presence alone changes everything. That is not arrogance. It is truth. Let the intensity sink in. Let the realization take hold. You are no longer a background character in someone else's story. You are the quake beneath the surface. You are the fire that cannot be tamed. You are the force that turns the ordinary into extraordinary, the sun into unstoppable. When your look alone causes an emergency, it is proof that the universe intended for you to exist not quietly, not passively, but fully, audaciously, and unapologetically. The tremors you leave behind are not accidents. They are signatures. They are marks of power. They are proof that what you carry inside cannot and will not be ignored. It is time to stop asking permission from the world. It is time to stop waiting for validation. Those who have doubted you, underestimated you, whispered about you, and tried to contain you, they were never your measure. Your measure is your awareness. Your measure is your energy. Your measure is the tremor in the room when you enter, the subtle panic in the minds of those who thought they knew, the silence that follows your every word and movement. That is your proof. That is your mark. And the more you embrace it, the stronger it becomes. You are not just a presence. You are a force of nature. And nature cannot be silenced, cannot be tamed, cannot be stopped. Imagine, for a moment, the endless possibilities if you fully harness this. Every choice becomes decisive. Every glance becomes intentional. Every action becomes transformative. The chaos you cause becomes your tool, your instrument, your weapon of influence. Not in destruction, but in revelation. Not in fear, but in awakening. Every soul that crosses your path, every situation you enter, every environment you touch will feel the weight of your awareness. That emergency, that tremor, that statewide recognition, it is only the beginning. The ripple is starting, the wave is forming, and once it moves, nothing can contain it. And yes, there will be resistance, there will be doubt from others, and perhaps even from within yourself. But resistance is proof that you are moving. Doubt is proof that you are questioning limits that no longer apply to you. And fear is proof that you are alive and that your life carries a significance the world is not prepared for. You must embrace all of it. You must face the whispers, the shocked glances, the subtle panic, and let it fuel you. Do not shrink, do not bend, do not apologize. Let them react, let them panic, let them witness what happens when someone refuses to be small. You have to understand something now. The emergency your presence causes is not an accident. It is the inevitable consequence of the magnitude of your existence. For too long, the world has been conditioned to ignore quiet brilliance, to overlook the subtle power hidden in a gaze, a posture, a single look that carries more weight than anyone can imagine. And yet, here you are, breaking through all of it, whether you know it or not. Every startled glance, every whisper, every sudden pause in conversation, it is proof. Proof that even without words, even without deliberate action, you carry a force that alters reality. And yes, it is terrifying for those who witness it, but that terror is not yours. That terror belongs to the world that was not ready for someone like you. Imagine for a moment the effect of fully embracing this power. Imagine stepping into every space, every situation, every challenge, with the full awareness that your very presence commands attention. Not arrogance, not ego, but awareness. Awareness of your energy, your impact, your gravity. That look that caused a statewide emergency, it was only a glimpse of what happens when you stop holding back. When you allow yourself to exist without apology, without hesitation, without the weight of external expectation, that is when you become unstoppable. That is when the tremors spread further than you ever imagined. That is when people begin to realize that you were never ordinary, that you were always extraordinary. And yes, it will be exhausting. It will be draining. There will be moments when you question whether this force inside you is too much for the world or too much for yourself. Those moments are natural. Every storm, every earthquake, every force of nature faces resistance. But here is the truth. Resistance is not the end. Resistance is the proof that you are moving. Resistance is the evidence that you are alive, that your energy matters, that your existence cannot be ignored. That emergency, that statewide panic, it is not the limit of your influence. It is the starting point, the beginning of a realization that you are capable of more than most can comprehend. Let us be clear. Greatness never asks for permission. Power never seeks approval. Presence never waits to be recognized. Isn't it fascinating how life, this unpredictable, chaotic masterpiece, has a way of balancing the scales? They thought they'd get away with it, didn't they? Oh, the audacity. They spun their web of cruelty, wove their tapestry of betrayal, and danced on the strings of your pain. But what they forgot, my friends, is that there's a higher power pulling strings they can't even see. God. Oh yes, the ultimate puppeteer, the master of timing, is watching, and it's only a matter of time before the cruelty they inflicted upon you returns to them in ways they could never have expected. You see, cruelty has a way of circling back. It's the law of the universe, the divine order that cannot be escaped, no matter how powerful they think they are, no matter how untouchable they feel. They've made their choices, built their castles on the backs of broken souls, and now the storm is coming. They've planted seeds of torment, and what they don't understand is that those seeds have roots that stretch deep into the earth, roots that are pulling on forces they cannot fathom. forces that will return to claim what was stolen. They might have laughed at your suffering. They might have believed that they were invincible in their cruelty. But what they failed to realize is that the universe, the divine, does not forget. The pain they inflicted will not be buried in the sands of time. It will resurface, and when it does, it will not be in a way they can predict. God's timing is beyond human comprehension. It is not a mere coincidence. It is divine justice, and no one, no matter how powerful, can escape it. Their cruelty was a mask, a shield they thought would protect them. They manipulated, they lied, they tore down what was good and pure, thinking that they would remain untouched, untethered by the consequences of their actions. But they are wrong. The universe has a way of ensuring that every action, no matter how small, comes with its consequences. And those consequences are rarely what we expect. For every moment of heartache they caused you, for every tear they forced from your eyes, there is a price to be paid. And it will not be a price they can escape, no matter how hard they try to outrun it. The cruelty they showed you will come back to them like a storm of fury, like a wildfire that spreads through their lives in ways they never saw coming. It will seep into their world, infect every corner of their existence, and when it does, they will not be prepared. The moment they thought they were untouchable, that they had escaped the wrath of justice, that will be the moment it catches them off guard. They will be left in shock, unable to fathom how it all turned against them so swiftly. They thought they were clever, didn't they? That their manipulation and deceit would go unnoticed. But the truth has a way of finding its way to the surface, no matter how deep they try to bury it. They may have used you as a stepping stone, trampled on your spirit, but they forgot that they are not the only ones with power. They are not the only ones with control. God, the creator of all, the one who sees every injustice and hears every cry, is the one who truly holds the strings. And when God decides it's time for the scales to balance, there is no escaping it. No matter how fast they run, no matter how far they hide, it will find them. Do not mistake this for revenge, because what is coming to them is not something that you need to orchestrate. You are not the one who needs to lift the weight of that burden. It is God who will repay them, and when it happens, it will not be what they expect. Their cruelty will turn into their downfall in ways they will never see coming. The very thing they used to break you will be the thing that shatters them. Their lies, their betrayal, their manipulation, they will all come back around, crashing into their lives like a tidal wave. What they fail to see is that their actions have consequences beyond what their eyes can see. They didn't realize that every time they stepped on you, they were stepping into the path of their own destruction. Every time they took from you, they were setting the stage for their own loss. You see, what they don't understand is that there is a higher law at work, one that they cannot fight, one that they cannot outrun. The law of divine retribution is real, and it has no mercy. It is a force beyond their comprehension, and it will come for them when they least expect it. They may have thought they were in control. They may have believed that they were the masters of their fate, the ones who could dictate the lives of others with impunity. But what they don't know is that the hand of God is always moving in the background, shaping the world in ways that the human eye cannot perceive. Every cruel word they spoke, every malicious act they carried out, was a thread woven into the tapestry of their own downfall. They built their empire on the suffering of others, but in the end, they will realize that empires built on sand are destined to fall. As they continue to bask in their moment of triumph, believing that they have escaped the consequences of their actions, they are blind to the storm that is building just out of sight. The storm that will sweep through their lives and tear apart everything they have built. The storm that will come not with the fury of human hands, but with the power of divine justice. They They have no idea what is coming for them. They have no idea how close they are to the very thing they thought they could avoid. It will come when they are least prepared. It will come when they believe they are untouchable, when they believe they have escaped the grip of fate. But in the quiet moments, in the stillness of their success, they will begin to feel it, the weight of their actions bearing down on them. They will feel the pressure mounting, the creeping realization that their time is running out. And when the full force of their cruelty comes crashing back into their lives, they will be powerless to stop it. Their cruelty will return to them in ways they never expected, because that is how divine justice works. It is not a simple transaction. It is not a matter of cause and effect in the way they think it is. No, it is something far greater. It is a force that cannot be outrun, a reckoning that cannot be avoided. It is the return of everything they've done, not in the form they imagined, but in a way that will leave them broken, helpless, and alone. And when that moment comes, when they are finally confronted with the reality of their own actions, they will have no choice but to face it. The consequences they tried to dodge, the pain they tried to inflict on others without consequence, will return to them tenfold, and they will be forced to see the destruction they have caused, the lives they have ruined, and the souls they have broken. It will be a reckoning, a judgment, one that they will not be able to escape. But let me tell you this, my friends, do not rejoice in their downfall. Do not gloat in their misery, for the ultimate victory is not in seeing them suffer. The true victory is in knowing that you did not have to lift a finger to make them pay. The true victory is in understanding that justice, in the end, is always served. They thought they were invincible, untouchable, but they were wrong. And in that realization, in the moment of their destruction, you will find the peace that they could never take from you. So hold your head high. Stand firm in the knowledge that there is a greater power at work. Do not worry about the cruelty they showed you, for it will not go unpunished. In fact, their cruelty will return to them in ways they cannot fathom. And when it does, they will finally understand that they were never as powerful as they thought. They were never as untouchable as they believed. And in the end, they will know that their cruelty was the very thing that led to their downfall. In the end, it is not you who will suffer, but them. It is not you who will carry the burden of their actions. You are free. You are the one who will rise above it all, while they are left to face the consequences of their choices. God is the one who will make sure that their cruelty is repaid, and when that moment comes, it will be a moment of reckoning that they will not soon forget. The scales will balance, the debt will be paid, and their cruelty will return to them in ways they never could have imagined. So fear not, my friends, for the day will come when the scales are balanced. The day will come when those who inflicted pain and suffering will finally face the consequences of their actions. And when that day arrives, you will stand strong, knowing that justice has been served. Their cruelty will return through God in ways they could never expect. And when it does, they will learn that no one is above the law. No one is beyond the reach of divine justice. Let those words sink in. Let them echo in the chambers of your heart. For there is no power, no wealth, no status, no position that can protect anyone from the truth. No matter how high they rise, no matter how deep they dig into the earth to bury the consequences of their actions, divine justice will find them. It is inevitable. It is unyielding. It is as certain as the rising sun. They may think they have escaped. They may think their cruelty is cloaked in shadows, hidden behind a veil of deceit and manipulation. They may believe that they can continue to walk through this world, leaving scars in their wake, thinking that no one will ever call them to account for their actions. But they are wrong. They are so terribly wrong. Divine justice is not a concept that can be dismissed with a wave of the hand or a smile of arrogance. It is a force that works in ways beyond human understanding, a force that cannot be evaded or outrun. We often think of justice as something that can be measured by human standards. We think of it as a court of law with judges and lawyers and verdicts handed down in the blink of an eye. But divine justice is not like that. Divine justice operates in realms that the human mind cannot always grasp. It is not always instant. It is not always visible, but it is always there, weaving its threads through the lives of all who choose to bring harm to others. There are those who look around at the world, at the cruelty they see, and wonder why it seems to go unpunished. They look at the powerful, the corrupt, the deceitful, and they see them thriving. They see them rise higher and higher, seemingly untouched by the consequences of their evil. They look at the wicked and think, how is it that they are allowed to flourish? But what they fail to understand is that divine justice does not work on a human timeline. It does not play by the rules of men. The scales of justice do not tip on our whims, but on the eternal will of God, the master of the universe, the one who sees all and knows all. You may not see it now, but know this: nothing goes unnoticed. Nothing is ever truly forgotten. Every action, every word, every thought, every deed is recorded in the universe. And when the time comes for divine justice to unfold, it will come like a flood. It will not be a trickle, a gentle reminder. It will come with a power that cannot be denied, a force that will shake the very foundation of everything they thought they knew. They thought they could hurt you, manipulate you, break you, and walk away untouched. They believed that their cruelty would be buried under the weight of time, that the damage they caused would fade away into nothingness. But what they failed to realize is that the damage they inflicted has been etched into the very fabric of existence. You are not a mere footnote in their story. You are not a passing moment that will be erased by the sweep of time. Your pain, your suffering, your struggle, these are the very things that will bring them to justice. Every wound they inflicted upon you, every moment they took from you, will be returned to them, and it will not be a quiet return. It will not be a gentle tap on the shoulder to remind them of what they did. No, it will be a force they cannot escape, a reckoning they will be powerless to stop. The universe has a way of balancing itself. It has a way of righting wrongs, of correcting the course when it is veered too far. Their cruelty will come back to them in ways that they cannot possibly fathom. They may have thought that they were the ones in control, the ones pulling the strings. But they were mistaken. They were never in control. The universe, the divine, the force of justice, these are the true masters. They are the ones who guide the course of all things. And when someone steps out of line, when someone harms others, when someone thinks they are above reproach, the divine will step in. It will not be with a vengeance, but with a precision and a wisdom that no human hand could ever match. They will face consequences that cannot be predicted, consequences that will come in forms they never saw coming. Perhaps they will lose everything they hold dear. Perhaps they will find themselves in the midst of their own suffering. Perhaps they will be betrayed by those they once trusted. The cruelty they show to others will be the very thing that turns on them, and they will not know where it came from. They will be blindsided, unable to protect themselves from the forces that they thought were beneath them. But let me tell you, there is no need to rush this. There is no need to look for it, to wait in anticipation for their downfall. For divine justice is not something that needs to be forced. It is a natural law, like the turning of the seasons or the movement of the stars. You do not need to strike back. You do not need to make them pay. The universe will handle that. The divine will make sure that they get exactly what they deserve, and it will be far more than they ever bargained for. It is important to understand that divine justice is not about revenge. It is not about getting even. It is not about finding satisfaction in another's misery. That is not the path to peace. The path to peace is understanding that no one is exempt from the consequences of their actions, that even the most powerful, the most seemingly untouchable, will eventually face what they have done. They may not face it in the way you expect, but they will face it in a way that is fitting for their deeds. And in this, you must find your peace. You must find your solace in the knowledge that you do not need to carry the burden of seeking justice. That burden is not yours to bear. You are free from the chains of vengeance and anger. You are free to live your life without constantly looking over your shoulder, without constantly fearing that their cruelty will continue to have power over you. No, you are free because divine justice is on your side. The universe will take care of what they have done, and you will be left to live in peace, to heal, to rebuild, and to thrive. Those who have hurt you will have to face the consequences of their actions. They will have to look into the mirror of their soul and see the damage they caused. And that, my friends, will be their greatest punishment, because there is no greater punishment than the realization that you have destroyed something precious, something pure, something good. And once that realization sets in, there is no escaping it. It will eat at them, gnaw at their conscience, and they will feel it deep in their bones. It will haunt them in ways that no punishment ever could. And so, while they may walk freely now, while they may seem to live without consequence, know that their time is coming. Their cruelty will return to them. And when it does, it will be a force they cannot resist. It will be a storm that will destroy everything they have built on the backs of others. It will be a reckoning that will leave them broken and humbled, and they will come to understand what they did, what they took, what they destroyed. For there is no escaping divine justice. It is a force beyond the reach of any human being, beyond the control of any earthly power. It is as sure as the night follows the day, and no one is exempt from its reach. And when it comes for them, when it finds them, they will know the truth, that their cruelty was never truly their own to wield. It was a borrowed power, a borrowed moment, and it has run out. And as for you, my friends, know that you are free, free from the weight of their cruelty, free from the burden of seeking retribution. You are free because divine justice has already been set into motion, and there is no force on earth that can stop it. No one is beyond its reach. No one, not even them. They may think they have outsmarted the laws of the universe. They may believe that they've escaped, that the consequences of their actions have been buried beneath their arrogance, their pride, their perceived power. But what they fail to realize is that divine justice is not bound by human limits. It is not bound by time, not bound by place, and certainly not bound by the foolish schemes of those who think they can escape the consequences of their cruelty. For as sure as the sun rises each morning, the scales will tip, the balance will be restored, and they will face the reckoning they thought they had evaded. What they don't understand is that cruelty, manipulation, and deceit are not just human acts. They are violations against the very fabric of creation. Every act of malice that they inflict upon another is a wound upon the universe itself, a violation of the sacred order that governs all things. And though they may think that their actions go unnoticed, though they may believe that the damage they've caused will be swept under the rug of time, there is always a higher law at work, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma, the law of divine justice. And these laws, my friends, cannot be outrun. They cannot be avoided. They cannot be ignored. They believed that they could get away with it, that their cruelty, their manipulation, would never come back to haunt them. But the universe is not so easily deceived. Every drop of pain they inflicted upon others will eventually come back to them. Every lie they told, every betrayal they committed, every ounce of suffering they caused will be returned in ways they cannot foresee. Not because you seek revenge, not because you wish ill upon them, but because the laws of the universe demand it. And when those laws come calling, there is no place they can hide, no fortress they can build, no amount of wealth or power that can protect them. For the forces that govern the universe are not swayed by human influence. They are not gods, no matter how high they rise. They are not invincible, no matter how much they try to deceive themselves into believing that their actions come without consequence. Their cruelty will not remain unpunished, for the world is made up of balances, and every action has its reaction. And it is not a matter of time or place, for divine justice will find them wherever they are. It will strike them in ways they cannot anticipate, in moments they are least prepared for, in places where they thought they were untouchable. And when it comes, when they finally see the consequences of their actions, it will not be with a quiet whisper of retribution. It will be with a force, a clarity, a power that they cannot ignore. It will be as though the universe itself has taken them by the hand, pulled back the veil, and shown them the true cost of their cruelty. The very thing they used to hurt others will become the thing that destroys them. The pain they inflicted will be the pain they are forced to feel. The lies they told will unravel and expose them for who they truly are. The harm they brought to others will come back to haunt them in a way that will leave them powerless. Do not mistake this for a simple outcome of chance. This is not a matter of fate or luck. This is divine law at work. This is the law of retribution, the law of cosmic balance, the law of justice that governs the very foundations of existence. No one is above it, not even the most powerful, not even the most cunning. They may try to act as if they are gods, but they are not. They may think they are untouchable, but they are not. They may believe that their cruelty will go unpunished, but they are mistaken. The universe sees all, God sees all, and divine justice is inevitable. It is not a matter of when, but of how. It is not a matter of whether they will face the consequences, but of how those consequences will unfold. And when that moment comes, when they are confronted with the reality of what they've done, it will be as though the ground beneath them is pulled away. Their world will crumble, their lives will collapse, their sense of security will vanish, and they will find themselves standing alone, stripped of the illusions they built around themselves. They will realize, far too late, that their cruelty has a cost, that no one, not even them, is beyond the reach of divine justice. They will come face to face with the truth of their actions, and it will break them. It will break them in ways they cannot understand, for the burden of knowing the harm they've caused, the destruction they've wrought, will be a weight that no earthly power can lift. No amount of money, no position of power, no army of followers will protect them from the truth. And in that moment, when they are finally forced to face the damage they've done, they will realize that the true price of their cruelty is something far more precious than any material possession or fleeting victory. The price they will pay is the destruction of their own soul. But here's the thing. Their fall from grace will not be your burden. Their downfall will not be your source of satisfaction. For divine justice does not require your intervention. You are free from the need to take action. You are free from the need to chase after them, to seek revenge, to make them feel the pain they caused. For when divine justice arrives, it will not require your help. You do not need to lift a finger to make them pay. The universe will do that for you. God will do that for you. And the beauty of it is that when the time comes for them to face what they've done, there will be no one left to blame but themselves. Do not seek their destruction. Do not long for their suffering. For in the moment they are forced to confront their own evil, they will experience a torment far greater than anything you could ever wish upon them. The weight of their guilt, the weight of their knowledge that they are responsible for their own undoing, will be a punishment that will haunt them for the rest of their days. And that, my friends, is the true power of divine justice. It is not about inflicting pain. It is about letting the guilty face the consequences of their own actions and watching them crumble under the weight of their own sins. So while they may walk around with a sense of invincibility, while they may continue to manipulate and deceive, know that their time is coming. Their time is drawing near, and there will be no escaping the reckoning that awaits them. The divine has already set the wheels of justice in motion, and there is no force on this earth that can stop it, not even them. And when that time comes, when they finally face the music, they will understand the truth that no one, no matter how powerful, no matter how clever, is beyond the reach of divine justice. They will understand that their cruelty was never truly theirs to wield, that the power they thought they had was an illusion, a fleeting moment in the grand scheme of eternity. And when they stand alone, facing the wreckage they've created, they will realize that the price they paid for their actions is one that no earthly wealth, no human influence can ever undo. In that moment, you will be free. You will be free of the weight they placed upon you, free from the chains of anger, free from the desire for revenge. For you will know, without a shadow of a doubt, that justice has been served, that the scales have balanced, that the debt has been paid, and you will be free to move forward with your life, to heal, to rebuild and to grow. For divine justice, my friends, is the ultimate truth. It is the final word in the matter, and no one, not even them, can escape it. So remember this, their cruelty will return to them in ways they cannot imagine, and when it does, it will not be because of anything you have done. It will be because the universe has seen their actions, and the time has come for them to face the consequences. They will be judged, and they will pay the price. And in that moment, when the weight of their own guilt crashes down upon them, they will know the truth of what they have done. And they will learn, far too late, that no one at all, is beyond the reach of divine justice, not even them. And so, my friends, as we stand at the threshold of this understanding, let us remember that there is an undeniable truth woven into the very fabric of existence. Divine justice is real, and it is unwavering. No matter how it may seem at times, no matter how many evil deeds may go unpunished in the short term, rest assured that the balance of the universe is never truly disrupted. There is a higher order, a force greater than all human understanding, that ensures justice will be served, and no one, not even the cruelest or the most powerful, is beyond its reach. You see, the enemy may appear victorious for a time. They may strut around with an air of invincibility, leaving scars in their wake. They may think they've outsmarted the world, that they've evaded consequence, that they've escaped unscathed. But the truth is, they are only fooling themselves, for their deeds are not hidden. Their pain and their malice have been recorded in the sacred ledger of the universe, and when the moment arrives for divine justice to unfold, it will come with a force that nothing on earth can resist. It will come like a storm that cannot be outrun, like the inevitable turning of the tides. And when that day arrives, when their world crumbles beneath the weight of their own actions, they will be left to face the full extent of their cruelty. There will be no escape. There will be no second chance. The consequences will come to them in ways they never anticipated, in forms they could not have imagined, and they will be forced to reckon with the reality of what they have done. It is the ultimate reckoning, one that cannot be ignored, one that cannot be dismissed, no matter how many illusions they have built around themselves. But for you, the one who has suffered at their hands, the one who has endured their cruelty, know this: you do not have to seek vengeance. You do not have to carry the weight of their actions. You do not have to become consumed by anger or hatred, for divine justice will take care of all of that for you. You are free from the burden of seeking retribution. You are free to live, to heal, to move forward with peace in your heart, knowing that the universe will make sure that those who sow pain and suffering will one day reap what they have sown. You have been given the gift of resilience, the strength to endure, to rise above, to heal from the wounds they inflicted upon you. And now, with the knowledge that divine justice is at work, you can step forward into the future unburdened, knowing that the scales will be balanced, the wrongs righted, and that the hands of the universe will deal with what is just. You are free, and they will never truly escape the consequences of their actions. Remember, no one is beyond the reach of divine justice, not even them. And when the time comes for them to face what they have done, they will know the full weight of the damage they have caused. They will know the pain they brought to others, and they will realize that the price they have paid is far higher than they could have ever imagined. For in the end, divine justice is not a matter of revenge. It is the natural law of the universe, and no one can escape it, not even them. So stand tall, knowing that no matter how cruel they were, or how deep they tried to bury the truth, the divine sees all. The divine knows all. Divine justice will come, and when it does, it will restore balance, bring healing, and bring peace. For no one is beyond the reach of divine justice, and that, my friends, is the ultimate truth.